I was talking to one of my subscribers last night that lives in Australia, and during the conversation he said to me, you know, he sold some of his crypto, all of his crypto as well, to buy more shares of NEO. And then it dawned on me, because I sold all of my Dogecoin, and it dawned on me, wait a minute, I still have a percentage of Bitcoin, and it was up over 134% as of last night. Guess what Money Making Mitch did? Oh, you guessed right. I sold it. I'm waiting for the money to clear, and I'm going to go over 10,000 shares of NEO next week. Boom! How you like them apples? But why is Money Making Mitch do this? When the trolls came out yesterday in numbers, and they even said he must work for NEO. You see, you cannot save a blind animal without vision. You have to let it go over the cliff. So I leave them to walk over the cliff. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. And yes, by next week I'll be over 10,000 shares. What do I have for you guys on a Friday is dynamite. This is the reason why I keep buying shares when the sheep panic and poop in their pants and run to the hills. NEO Power, GAC Energy achieved charging network sharing. Yes, you heard that right. The giant GAC. NEO and GAC Group energy units have entered into a charging network sharing partnership, the first substantial development in the collaboration between the two car makers that was agreed a month ago. NEO and GAC Group's energy units have entered into a charging network sharing partnership, the first substantial development in the collaboration between the two. NEO Power and GAC Energy formally agreed to a charging network sharing partnership on June the 7th, which will see the two establish dynamic data sharing between charging platforms to enable two-way interoperability of charging facilities, according to a statement from NEO. Does this sound like a company going out of business to you? With Envo coming soon, does this sound like a company going out of business to you? With Firefly getting ready to be released this year in China, the largest market in the world, does it sound like we're going out of business to you? Or does it sound like Tesla Model 3 is going to be decimated even more, along with the Model Y? We are putting them to finally rest in peace. The partnership is the first project to come to fruition after NEO and GAC Group signed a strategic cooperation on charging and battery swap on May the 8th, and will provide users on both sides with charging services that are wide coverage, efficient, and easy to use, NEO said. Remember, that partnership also spoke about they'll be working together in the field of battery swapping and in terms of energy and solar, etc., etc. Starting June 7th, users of GAC Ion Hyper and GAC Trumpici will be able to check and use NEO charging piles through their mobile apps, mini programs, and charging maps on their vehicle screens. At the same time, GAC's energy supercharging stations are also open to NEO users, according to the statement. From June the 7th to June 30th, users from both sides can enjoy discounts of up to 30% when using the other side's charging piles. On May the 8th, NEO and GAC signed a strategic cooperation agreement on charging and battery swap in Guangzhou. Battery swap. Who owns the battery swap stations? Who's going to be paying us for that soon? And where the latter is headquartered. The two sides will carry out strategic cooperation in charging and battery swap related areas such as battery standards, vehicle R&D, and customization. Vehicle R&D. So this is why you heard our research and development cost was lowered in this last earnings report. And it's going to be lowered even more with all the partnerships we're getting into. This is why I was not worried about profitability yet. I was looking at the guidance, knowing what's coming. And the guidance were great. And Power Swap network development and operation, NIO said in a statement at the time. At the same time, the two sides will also promote the mutual opening of their respective charging platforms, NIO said last month. NIO Power or NIO Energy Investment, Huawei Company Limited, is NIO's energy business subsidiary responsible for the construction of its facilities, including battery swap stations and charging stations. So I already spoke about this, saying that I expect the reason why NIO is branched off and is listing, like the NIO Energy, the NIO phone business, the NIO chip business, the NIO battery business separately, is because the government is giving funding for that. And we are separating our businesses to get those funding. Also, yesterday I spoke about the earnings report, and I said I was really concerned and more appreciative of if we had good guidance, and we had excellent guidance. Remember I said that, guys? Well, after I spoke about that, I saw for the first time ever on Charles Schwab network where they were actually speaking good about NIO, and I was blown away because usually it's always propaganda on there. And the anchor was trying to ask the questions in a way to make NIO look very bad, but the guests that she had on surprised her. Take a look at the clip and then we shall talk.
What say you? Philip Wool, Managing Director, Radiant Global Advisors. Surprised?
Well, thanks for having me on the show, Nicole. No, it's not a huge surprise to us. We were expecting that revenues would be down from where they were last year. We expected NIO's loss to widen. And the factors showed up in terms of the details of their earnings. They reported that the price per vehicle sold was down. That's a result of this price war in the EV space with lots of competition. They reported that deliveries were down, and we know that demand for EV has been soft. And so the results aren't totally unexpected. Now, there was some good news in terms of guidance. So NIO upped its guidance in terms of Q2 revenues. It should double effectively from where it was a year ago. And they also expect higher delivery numbers than they had previously guided in the second quarter. So there's some good news. They just got approval for a new factory in China. It'll be their third factory. It gets their capacity up to almost 1 million vehicles a year, which rivals Tesla in China with their Shanghai factory. So there's some good news, but it's clearly just a challenging environment for EV manufacturers right now.
Yeah. Olivier Blanchard of the Futurum Group, feel free to join the conversation here on NIO, which is selling off. Some of your thoughts, and were you surprised, and can something turn this around? I mean, they gave some good guidance, to Philip's point. What's going to turn this around?
Hi, Nicole. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, Philip's right. It's basically, the EV market's been a little soft in the past quarter. I think it's coming back. Obviously, the guidance looks really good. But two things that are interesting to me about NIO is, one, their margins were up almost 2x from last year, year over year. So in this kind of environment, to be able to come out with an improvement in gross margins is pretty impressive, especially against Tesla, since we brought Tesla into the conversation. And Tesla slashed its prices last year to be able to keep its market share. And NIO was a little bit more aggressive with its financial discipline. And obviously, NIO's been a premium brand, and it's played on that. But it does have a really interesting launch coming this September, the Onvo brands with their L60. Set to launch in September. NIO is going for a big mass market play with more affordable cars that will compete against the Tesla Model Y. And I think what's interesting about this is, with the EV market, you're not just talking about vehicles. You're not just talking about shipments. You're also talking about services and data. And the company that can, especially in a software-defined vehicle environment, whether it's EV or not, the company that can have the most mass and the most market penetration is going to be collecting more data and be able to push out more services and bring in more services revenue than its competitors. So I think we need to start thinking about the EV market and software-defined vehicle market as about more than just vehicles and wheels on the ground. It's also about the entire ecosystem. And NIO there, I think, has a win coming that and try to basically just push Tesla out and beat them at their own game in China.
All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, I hope you found that clip to be very informational, inspirational, motivational, because it showed that the anchor wasn't expecting the kind of answer she was getting when she asked the one guy and he told her about the guidance and all the positive things. She went to the other guy hoping to get a different response, and she did not get it. And she pooped in her pants. So, are you going to poop in your pants or understand what those gentlemen were saying and keep buying at these ridiculous prices to become a multi-millionaire? Money-making Mitch is doing it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So I hope you guys found this video to be inspirational and motivational on a Friday morning. If so, guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up. Do not forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we have that warrior mindset like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.